Hello, you're welcome to class. This is the Play Creating Production class. As the name implies, we are going to be discussing on the key issue, which is play creating. And then we have the production aspect, where students will produce some very short uh, videos on the choice of their production. So if you're just joining, we had discussed, theater production. We had discussed uh, introduction to filmmaking and all that. And today we are looking at play creating. Now, I want you to understand that play creating is an act of storytelling, and it, sits very comfortably in the drama genre. Okay, so we are in essence trying to say how many platforms can accommodate drama, or what are the medium that drama can confidently, uh, be projected. And so I'm going to take the medium, step by step. We're going to be looking at four medium at the end of the day. So please take notes and follow as we continue. But let me tell you a story, as we dive into this class. Growing up, I never liked beans, and I know that some of you this dislike resonates with you. What is that debate about between boys and girls? Who are those who like beans? Okay, uh, so I don't like beans, and my mother knew that I needed that, you know, nutrient, called protein or carbohydrate or whatever you call it. And so she devised a means, and she made my. And my was a favorite to me. I love my. I love akara, what we call the bean cake. And so at the end of the day, there was, an understanding that I take my other siblings take the beans, and so on. What did my mother achieve at the end of the day? She still made me eat beans. Okay, I still ate beans because my is beans, akara is beans. Okay, I now know that there are other soups like begiri soup is beans. Okay, and there are so many things you can do with beans these days, tanwake and so on and so on. So what I'm about to share with you in this play creating production class is the same thing. We are looking at drama. Drama is like the beans, okay? But how do we create it? How do we project it? How do we work with it and produce something amazing, even though it is still drama? Remember, even though it is still beans, it can be mai, it can be akara, it can be begiri, it can be beans porridge. Okay, so we're going to be projecting drama on different platforms. Don't forget, it's still drama. It's still about plays. Okay, so the first platform that we're going to consider in this class is the live or the stage platform. The live or stage platform. This speaks to theatrical productions. Now, if you are a student of theater, you will know that primarily in your own institutions, you have a stage, okay, that is specifically designed to host theatrical productions. Now, don't forget that the theater you have in your school, that stage you have in your school, is not only meant for drama. I hope you know. You can have dance, okay, and other theatrical productions on it. Now, the live or stage, platform or medium gives the opportunity to create plays. Okay, so the plays that you have read by, say, Wole Soyinka, by Olarotimi, okay, by Femi Osofishan, okay, by Emi Idegu, okay, Irene Salami, Zulu Sofola. All these amazing playwrights wrote primarily for the stage. It was written to be performed on stage. And so when you read a play text and you just imagine it, but when you watch it in production, you see a lot of things. So, play creating platform number one, play creating medium number one is a live or stage platform. Now, what do we do on those? What do we do on that platform? The first is that we present plays already written, or plays that have been put together by students. It could be a workshop play. It may not be written by experienced or legendary playwrights, but it can be written by students. A product of your playwriting class, you come together and write. It can also be a product of improvisation, okay, where there is no kind of like standard script for it, but everybody has been told what to do, and you go take your cues on stage and stay true to it, and you have a play. Now, so when you go to watch a play in the theater, you are engaging with play creating content number one. Remember, the play is presented on a stage. That is the medium on which it is projected. Now, following that very closely is the site-specific theater. Now, it's still under the live or stage, production. Now, this site-specific theater, or what you call the environmental, theater, is, to cut the long story short, like TFD, okay, Theater for Development, where you go to a community, you observe their way of life, you ask questions, you try to generate data from that question, and you ask them what their problems are, and then you also try to ask them how can they be part of solving that problem, and then you weave a story around it, and then you try to create a play out of it. You give everybody a role. Sometimes the students take roles. The people in the committee also take roles. And then at the end of the day, you present a play to the community. And the community see themselves in that play. They see their problems in that play. And they see how their problems can be solved in that play. And after that, you have a post, show production where they ask questions and they put their heads together in solving that problem. Now, what's the difference between the environmental site-specific stage with the theater facility in the school or in a professional theater company? The difference is that the first one is built specifically to host plays. All right, it has lighting, it has it's soundproof. The arrangement is done in such a way that you sit comfortably to watch the play and all that. Some have curtains, some have lights out and all that. Beautiful. But in this environmental site-specific platform, you don't have the luxury of lights, of curtains, of all that. Okay? It's like coming to a community to do a play. It's like what Shakespeare says. The world is a stage and we all play our part. All right? And so when you come to the environmental site-specific, platforms, it's doing the play in the environment where the issues are. So I give you an example. We want to do a play about students who run out of school, students who don't stay in class. And then we take those plays to schools. You see, those schools become site specific. They become environmental. They become the place where that play even originates from. Okay? We want to do a play about hygiene, how to eat and take care of yourselves and things like that. And then we take that play to a restaurant. Okay? And we do that play in a restaurant. Okay? That is a site specific production. Okay? And one last thing, we also talk about how to manage the market space in our communities. And we take a play about space management in the market, in the community. That's a site-specific, production. And I told you TFD, does that very well. Now, the third and final one under the live or stage, platform is the puppetry or masquerade performance or max performance. There are theatrical events like festivals, okay, where you have masquerades, and those masquerades tell a story. In fact, in my village, for instance, the masquerade for children is different, the masquerade for women is different, the masquerade for adults is different, and then there's a masquerade for everybody, okay? Now, the masquerade for children, they come, they are colorful, they're beautiful, with drums and dance, and they tell a story. They teach young people how to be obedient to parents, how not to steal, how not to lie, and all that. So they weave a story around their performance. Okay. If you go to the Tiv region, they have the Kwai Theater. Okay, where a an inanimate object, kind of like, is used, or a human being who wears a mask is also able to perform, and he's passing on a message. All right, that's the puppetry or max theater. Now, still under that, there are the puppetry performances that you are very aware about. We do that for children, where you have a raised platform, all right, and the puppeteers are behind. Okay, they control those puppets, and you see the puppets. You don't see those behind the puppets. Okay, and then the children sit just you're watching me now, and all they see are the puppets. I'm sure you have seen the pictures that you are seeing right now. Okay, and you are seeing them. Okay, now that's an amazing storytelling tradition that comes under this play creating production. So this, or puppetry as we call it, is a legitimate, story telling platform. The puppets speak with human voice. Okay, the puppets move, they wear fabric like you know it, and you can identify them even though they look like dolls and things that you play with. But you hear them speak, you hear them dance, you hear them cry, okay, and they tell their stories. So, as a way of rounding up this particular section, we've established that the play creating, art is a storytelling art, and we have established that it has various platforms or medium on which it is presented. We've also established that it is basically drama in different forms. And we have about four medium or four platforms on which it is done. We have just tried to talk about the live and stage platform. And we said the live and stage platform number one is the theater. That facility originally meant for play viewing. You go there to see drama. It's designed for it with all its paraphernalia, the lights, the sound, and everything. The second is the environmental or site-specific theater, where you take those dramas and present them in spaces that are organic to them. In a restaurant, at the filling station, in the market space, in the hospitals, as long as those places have to do with issues in those areas. And I said the TFD gives you a good example of that. And the last one is the the Max or the puppet theater, where you have events like masquerading and other events that the characters wear masks to present their act, or the puppetry itself, where puppeteers, control what those characters say, and at the end of the day, the audience is thrilled and they enjoy what they are watching. Now, all those things are play creating initiatives, and I hope that in our next class, we'll be looking at the second, platform available for us in Play Creative. Please go through the video again, answer some questions, and we'll be back. Thank you.